Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So you guys requested an Infinity Gauntlet Infinity Gems video, so I'm going to explain some of the really funny quirks and secrets of them in the cinematic universe as well as the comics. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get everything. I do Marvel videos every week. There's even a giveaway that's going on right now. I'll explain at the end of the video. So there aren't that many differences between the Infinity Gems in the comics and the Infinity Stones in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Only their location, the people that wield them, in the gauntlets themselves. The big secret of the Infinity Gauntlets in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you may have spotted this, is that one of the gauntlets is not with Thanos. It's actually in Odin's vault, and it glows like it has all the gems in it.
Casket is safe and all is well.
All is well. They broke into the weapons vault. If the Frost Giants had stolen even one of these relics...
They didn't.
Well, I want to know why.
In the Ultimate Universe of the comics, there used to be 2 gauntlets with 8 gems, but the powers were the exact same. In the main 616 universe, the Infinity Gauntlet storyline only featured the 1 gauntlet with the 6 gems: soul, time, space, mind, reality, and power. The other dirty secret of the Infinity Gems is that their colors change in the comics depending on who's drawing and writing the book. So the classic colors are actually just green, like this is what the panel looks like. They have no different color, but obviously people get confused. Which gem are you wielding? I don't understand. What's going on? So Jim Starlin writes Thanos' Quest. That's the story of him coming up with the idea to assemble the gauntlet and use it to erase half of all life in the galaxy. There is an imbalance. Death feels like more people are alive today than have ever died, and that is a great cosmic imbalance. Thanos, courting her favor, wants to correct this mistake, so he goes about collecting all the gems. When we get to the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, you see the classic colors. So you see green, orange, purple, blue, yellow, red. A couple years ago, Brian Michael Bendis does New Avengers. The Illuminati hold the Infinity Gems. The colors shift just a little bit. And then a lot of you are asking, why are the colors different yet again in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? The other dirty secret of the movies is that when they started making them a long time ago, they didn't know how it would work out, so they needed to build themselves some options down the road. So everything was fine, and we got to Avengers. They teased Thanos at the end. They're like, okay, great. We're going to do the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. It's just a bit of a wink. They totally called it. They totally hit their shot. Everything went fine. But initially, because they had put so much money on the line with Merrill Lynch and the banks that were financing their movies, they just needed to have an out in case things didn't work out and they couldn't build up to something as crazy as the Infinity Gauntlet. That's why some of the earliest versions of the Infinity Gems were not gems at all. Even in the first Avengers film, there are 2 gems, but they're disguised as Loki's scepter and the Tesseract. There are 2 reasons for that. 1, to build themselves an out, and 2, just to misdirect people so they didn't know immediately the storyline that they were going for. Like, they wanted there to be some mystery when they got to Avengers Age of Ultron. Joss Whedon said that when he met for the first Avengers film, he had the idea for the second film. He mostly went into that meeting pitching Jarvis becoming the Vision, which was one of the big twists of Avengers Age of Ultron. But it's also the idea that the Mind Stone forms part of his personality. So they didn't want to give that twist away too quickly. So that's why you see Loki's scepter, it looks blue. The gem that comes out of it is yellow.
The most versatile substance on the planet. And they used it to make a frisbee. Typical of humans. They scratch the surface and never think to look within.
The origin of the gems of the comics are a little bit different from the origin of the gems in the movies. In the comics, they just represent different cosmic principles, and they're called the Soul Gems by the Silver Surfer for the first time in the late 80s. The Elders of the Universe are going to collect them and use them to drain Galactus of his power. does that not look like a version of the Celestials that we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy assembling the gems to do something crazy? We just see this sequence, we don't know exactly what it is they're doing. This here is really an Easter egg for that. The Elders of the Universe look more like people. They don't look like the giant Celestials.
Before creation itself, there were 6 singularities. Then the universe exploded into existence, and the remnants of these systems were forged into concentrated ingots. Infinity Stones. These stones, it seems, can only be brandished by beings of extraordinary strength. Observe. These carriers can use the stone to mow down entire civilizations like wheat in a field.
There's a little pea coming out of me right now.
Once for a moment, a group was able to share the energy amongst themselves, but even they were quickly destroyed by it. Beautiful. Beyond compare.
Blah, blah, blah.
The movie gems, like the collector says, are remnants from systems that existed from before creation itself. When the Big Bang happened, the energy that was left from those previous 6 systems was forged into gems by the Celestials. So that's what you're seeing here. And nowhere, the city that they travel to, where the collector has his base, is actually the severed head of an unidentified Celestial. They don't know which one it is. It just gives you an idea of how big and powerful they are. So for instance, a lot of you ask how Peter Quill's able to hold one of the Infinity Gems without being destroyed. His father is Ego the Living Planet. This is how big he is. He's millions of years old, so it's almost like Ego the Living Planet is on par with the Celestials. But he's not a Celestial, he's not that powerful. As of right now in the movies, the Space Gem is still at Asgard. They took it back there at the end of the first Avengers film. The Mind Gem is still in Vision's forehead. The Reality Gem is still with the Collector. The Power Gem is still with the Nova Corps. The Time Gem is still with Doctor Strange.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Wise choice. You'll wear the Eye of Agamotto once you've mastered its powers. Until then, best not to walk the streets wearing an Infinity Stone.
A what?
And we have yet to see the Soul Gem. There are a number of places that it could show up. Depending on how their powers will work, it will either be with Hela, because she does have the ability to cull souls, which is the ability of the Soul Gem, the ability to control people's souls, or the new option that a lot of people are wondering about is if it might be inside the Hollow Tree in the Necropolis in Black Panther's city of Wakanda. They have this very mystical connection with the afterlife that normal characters don't have. Black Panther, King of Wakanda, is also King of the Dead, in that he also can communicate with previous Black Panthers. If they wanted to, they could shoehorn in that explanation to the Soul Gem, but it just depends on how real world they're going to keep the Black Panther character in that movie. We won't really find out till next year, but the cool thing is that you won't have to wait that long because it's coming in February.
We deal with royalty, we deal with royal families, but unlike our other films, it's right here on Earth. We get to explore different cultures and different aspects of our world.
For Black Panther and the world of Wakanda, it's finding those real-life touchstones that we think gives the film an integrity, yet still making it something that you've never seen before.
There are 2 more really big secrets in the MCU. One, are they going to actually kill anybody during Avengers Infinity War? I'll do a separate video about that.
Quote by Norman Mailer, all true stories end in death. These guys are playing massively high-stake games, and if people don't die occasionally, there's no reality. I mean, it's not reality to begin with, but we have to at least give it a semblance of reality every so often.
in another video that I'll be doing is which Avengers are capable of actually wielding the Infinity Gauntlet, because you have to imagine that Peter Quill was able to hold on to it for a little while, and his father is Ego the Living Planet, so there are only a few characters that are on the Avengers roster that are capable of wielding Infinity Gems without being destroyed. So let me know in the comments, who do you want to see wield the Infinity Gauntlet from the Avengers roster? Now, there have been humans that have wielded the gauntlet. Tony Stark was able to do it for a brief period. The Hulk even wielded the Infinity Gauntlets. There were 2 of them in the Ultimates universe. So there are human characters that have been able to do it in the past. They might decide to bend the rules for the movies, because there are a couple characters that I really want to see holding that gauntlet. But what's going to happen later tonight is there's a really big DC TV Flash, Arrow, Legends panel that's happening in Paleyfest. I'll do a video for the stuff that they announced at that, so that'll be posting later tonight. There'll be new Game of Thrones and new Walking Dead posting tomorrow. Leave all your Marvel video requests in the comments below. Congratulations to the new giveaway winner, Amer O. You win the Spider-Man action figures. Please private message me on the back end of my channel. There was a new round that started in this video. I'll announce the winner when I post my next Marvel video. While you wait for that, click here for more Marvel post-credit scenes, and you can click here to learn about the new Venom movie that Sony just announced. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.